Hi there. Welcome back to my weekly series, Walk with Neil, where I unpack tech leadership and strategy while getting my steps in, usually. But today it was a bit too hot for a walk, so today it's just chat with Neil in an outdoor space. So let's dive into the topic of the day. Let's say you're running a company and thinking we need a full-time CTO, or better yet, should we bring in somebody more short-term? If you're asking these questions, you're not alone. If you've watched my past videos, you've probably heard me mention the term fractional CTO a number of times. Surprisingly, it's not always a familiar concept. Maybe you're not even totally sure what that means or when they're a good fit for your company. Finding the right executive fit is a really common consideration for founders, CEOs, and even investors who are trying to scale their tech teams without overcommitting on budget or making a costly misstep with the wrong hire. So today I'm going to give you a clearer picture on technology leadership options that are trending in today's market. And I'll walk you through the four most common types of tech leadership engagements that are out there: the full-time CTO, interim CTOs, fractional CTOs, and advisors. We'll cover what each one actually does, how involved they are in your business, what they cost typically, and how to know which one makes the most sense for where you are right now. I'm Neil Bay, a technology leader operating in a fractional or full-time capacity who helps companies avoid those missteps by scaling smarter and making tech work for the business, not the other way around. Let's start off with the full-time CTO. This is your long-term, deeply embedded technology leader, someone who's responsible for everything from technical vision to hiring, architecture, team structure, and culture. They're in the weeds and in the boardroom. Now, not all full-time CTOs look the same. Some are highly hands-on, especially in early stage companies. They might be writing code, designing systems, and conducting technical interviews personally. Others operate more like strategic executives, focusing on organizational structure, high-level architectural decisions, and aligning technology strategy, especially as the company grows. The difference often comes down to your stage of growth. Typically, startups need builders, growth stage and enterprise orgs need scale-oriented leaders who can develop and mentor the next layer of leadership. Regardless of where they sit on that spectrum, a full-time CTO is part of your executive team. They help shape company-wide strategy, work closely with the CEO and board, and own the long-term success of your tech org. Because they're full-time, this is your most significant investment on your team. You're paying salary, full benefits, and typically offering equity. But in return, you're getting someone who's leading your tech organization day in and day out. Their success is tied directly to the future of your company. This model is ideal for Series B and beyond, or for any business where technology is core to the product and full-time executive ownership is mission critical. Next, we have the interim CTO. This is a short-term, full-time engagement, 5 days a week, and usually brought in during a leadership gap or major transition. Maybe your last CTO just left, or you're about to raise investment and need a stronger tech story, and maybe things are just moving fast and you need someone to stabilize and keep the wheels turning. An interim CTO can be hands-on, but more often than not, they're more focused on fixing, evaluating, and stabilizing, not necessarily laying the long-term vision. They may parachute in to assess your team, clean up technical debt, coach internal leaders, and sometimes they'll help you hire the permanent CTO to follow them. Cost-wise, you're probably paying a premium rate, either daily or monthly, but you're not on the hook for long-term equity or benefits. But it's usually a case-by-case basis. They're great when you need a pro in the seat now, but it's not forever. Now, let's talk about the fractional CTO, which is a capability I offer in addition to full-time services. This isn't a temp role. It's a deliberate, flexible model. A fractional CTO brings senior technology leadership to your company on a part-time basis, maybe 1 or 2 days a week, giving you strategic oversight without the full-time commitment. And this approach isn't unique to tech. Companies also bring in fractional CEOs, CMOs, CFOs, and even CHROs. These are fractional executive roles, meaning they help shape direction, collaborate with leadership, and contribute to long-term success, not just short-term deliverables in whatever area they focus in. That's different from a fractional non-executive who I would say is more of a part-time contractor or specialist, but I've seen some debate online on applying the term fractional. As fractional CTO, you're not just hiring me or someone like me to help shape your architecture, build your roadmap, and make sure your technology is aligned with where your business is headed. You're also getting someone who puts in the processes and frameworks that create a strong foundation for your entire tech org to move forward. That said, a fractional CTO model works best when there's a solid day-to-day leader in place, partner with like a VP of engineering or a strong director to carry the strategy forward, drive execution, and keep momentum during the times the fractional leader isn't directly in the room. Since it's not a full-time role, you avoid full-time salary and benefits. Some engagements include short-term equity, others are strictly fee-based. It's really flexible, cost-efficient, and scalable as your needs evolve. Fractional CTOs are especially useful for early-stage companies, post-raise startups, and growing businesses that need senior guidance, but don't need it 5 days a week. This is when you don't have the budget for a full-on experienced professional, but want the benefits of one at a fraction of the cost. And finally, there's the advisor. This is someone who's not embedded in your team and not managing a roadmap, but they're there for input. They offer guidance, feedback, and mentorship when you need it. Advisors are often brought in to coach internal team leads, provide second opinions on big decisions, or even connect you to talent and vendors. They typically work a few hours a month and are compensated through equity, a small retainer, or both. If your company already has a capable team, but could benefit from occasional senior input, an advisor is a great way to keep things sharp without adding overhead and even get a second opinion. So, which one's right for you? If you're scaling fast and need consistent, engaged, always available leadership, a full-time CTO makes sense. If you're in a transition and need to keep momentum, bring in an interim CTO. If you want experience and strategy but don't need it every day, a fractional CTO gives you that flexibly and affordably. And if you're mostly good but wanted a trusted voice in your corner, an advisor can offer a lot of value with minimal commitment. If you're trying to figure out which one of these you need, shoot me a message. I can help you find the right model for your stage, your goals, and your team. And as usual, please like, share, or comment if you thought this was useful. That's the best feedback I can get that I'm giving you value. So see you next time on Walk with Neil.